name is Heather Wade, and I was born in Fairfield, Connecticut on August 21st, and I moved to San Francisco from New York City almost 3 years ago. And I love San Francisco, that's why I'm taking my video from here. I'm a BC grad. I have my master's in education. I spent the last 5 years teaching. I taught in Spain, Barcelona, Spain, Milan, Italy, 2 years in New York doing the New York City Teaching Fellows program, and 2 years in San Francisco in Hunters Point, Bayview. I'm an Ironman triathlete. I decided to do an Ironman after being very, very sick, having chronic illness, and I decided I wanted to set a goal for myself to help me overcome my illness and to kind of visualize getting better. And I did the Ironman and finished 7th, and since then I've been setting a goal for every year of my life, writing it down, and each year I check a goal off my list. Since 1993, I've created a goal for every year of my life, and every year I complete that goal. This past year, I won a fellowship, an educational fellowship to travel to Spain, France, and Morocco to design curriculum about goal setting and perseverance. So I just got back from the trip in August. I did the Camino de Santiago, which is a 500-mile pilgrimage across northern Spain. After doing my trek this summer, I decided that I wanted to work with kids on empowerment, goal setting, perseverance, and I designed a curriculum about that I want to try and sell to either Outward Bound or Summer Search. I found working in the classroom a little bit too restrictive for me. I wrote my graduate thesis on the achievement gap between Blacks, Whites, and Latinos, and I wanted to help kids get empowered outside of the classroom. So I really think there needs to be a balance between learning inside the classroom and actually getting out and getting into nature and doing things that will help them build their confidence in themselves. For example, doing a ropes course, doing a trek, etc. Well, when I graduated Boston College in 1999, I took a job for a year working as a tech writer for a company called Molecular Wear, founded by 2 MIT grads that won Best Business Plan Idea. So I did tech writing for a year. Then I spent a few months working with, I moved back to Connecticut, spent a few months working with kids in special education. And then I began working for the next 2.5 years at Wallstrom Interactive, which did online advertising, and I worked in search engine optimization. After doing that, I decided that I really wanted to move abroad, learn some Spanish, and get a certificate to teach. So I went to Spain with no money in my pocket. I didn't know anyone. I didn't even have a set of keys or know where I was staying. And I enrolled in a TEFL program, which is Teach English as a Foreign Language. And they said it would take about, the average person, about 3 months to find a job. And I hustled and found a job right away. And I worked at a school in Barcelona. And I then began working at a company called Weber Shandwick, which does also advertising. And then I had a chance several months later to travel to Italy and do some teaching there. Upon my return to the States, I began the New York City Teaching Fellows program, which is a highly selective program that takes teachers or people and puts them into the classroom in the most dangerous schools in the country. So I worked at one of the 5 most dangerous high schools in the country, and in exchange for doing that, I was given the opportunity to get a free master's. The days were really, really intense. There were gang fights, shootings. Basically, every day was crazy. And then after 8 hours of work, I would go and work on my master's and commute back to Manhattan. So I did that for 2 years, from 2004 to 2006. Then I moved out to San Francisco, and from 2006 to 2008, taught in Hunters Point, Bayview at Thurgood Marshall. I am the kind of person that just works really, really hard all the time. I don't really put a time limit on what I need to do. I do what needs to be done, and I do things right. So I can't really say hours. I don't stop till I'm finished. My typical day was waking up at 5:15, going to the gym from 5:30 to 7, going to work from 7:30 to 3:30. I started a Latino book club after school, so I would work with them a couple days a week from 3:30 till about 6 at night. Get home, work out, maybe again, cook dinner, and then start lesson planning and grading for the next day. So for me, I can't really put hours on what I do. I work till I'm satisfied with what I've done. Well, as I mentioned, in 2000, I spent some time working with kids with autism and special needs. I really enjoyed that work. In 2003, I received my TEFL certificate in Spain. In 2004 to 2006, I did that unique program, the New York City Teaching Fellows Program, which 2004 to 2005 was just sort of assimilating into the classroom and into this environment. 2005 to 2006, I was given the opportunity to design a curriculum for our entire English department, which consisted of over 30 teachers. And the curriculum was meant to help students pass the state exams that they need to graduate, and also I built a curriculum around cultures and conflict. So my students' test results went from a 1% passing rate at the beginning of the school year to 75% passing rate, which was unheard of, so that was great. And the entire English department used my curriculum. Also, with the theme of cultures and conflict, I was able to arrange for my students to meet a Holocaust survivor, and I took 100 of my kids to the Holocaust Museum, which I got it all funded. I got the buses donated, and it was just a great opportunity for these kids in the Bronx that sadly had never been to Manhattan, which is only 7 miles away. So that was one thing I got to do. In 2006, when I moved to San Francisco Unified, I joined a group of teachers to do something called Project Impact. It's through UC Berkeley, and it's an inquiry-based project. So I again studied my classroom and studied issues surrounding the achievement gap. In exchange for doing that, I was paid by UC Berkeley. I lectured at UC Berkeley, and my students were given the opportunity to work with the Pearson Foundation, which brought digital arts into the classroom. So they were allowed to, they were given the opportunity to make movies. And 3 of my classes did movies. Othello, they made a trailer to modern day Othello, and my other 2 classes did sections of Toni Morrison's Woodstock. From 2007 to 2008, I noticed that my students that were suffering the most were Latino boys across the board in all my classes. So I decided they were all in my European literature class. They'd all failed all 4 years of English. And I decided that they weren't going to be very successful in European Lit since they didn't have the prerequisites to be there, and they really weren't invested in European literature. So I suggested that we move twice a week after school and read just Latino authors, which is what we did. And these kids became really addicted to reading and came every day. My room was filled with 15 or 20 Latino males. I had over 150 books donated. I had authors come and visit. So it was really a rewarding experience for me. So I've done a bunch of different things that brought different ways of learning into my classroom. Well, I think I have a really eclectic background, and I've lived in a lot of different places. I love life. I love meeting new people. I can get along with anyone and do well anywhere. I'm filled with love, and I think most importantly, I'm really into helping kids not just learn, but grow and develop. And I wanted to read one of my favorite quotes by John Stuart Mill, which says, "Human nature is not a machine to be built after a model and set to do exactly the work prescribed for it, but a tree which requires to grow and develop itself on all sides, according to the tendency of the inward forces which make it a living thing." So really for me, I want to help kids learn, grow, and develop and just become confident